It seems that Joe Rogan can't seem to catch a break. On one hand, he is spreading deadly misinformation, which can get people harmed. So the solution is to censor him, to get him off the air. And that didn't work. So what ended up happening is, and this is what no one asks. Like, no one asks this question. Who went through years of his videos, like hundreds of his videos, which are more than 3 hours each, just to see when he says the N word and then compile that together? Do you understand just how much time that takes? Did someone did it for free? Or was someone paid? And if the question is like, who paid them to do that? But again, it's Joe Rogan says offensive things, which has only one solution: to censor and deplatform him. It's so weird. It's like different reasons. Like the reasons are completely different. Like in one, he is harming grandma. In another one, he's offending people. But the solution is always the same: to get him off the air. Get rid of him like a old used rag. Now, look, Joe, you're not watching this. Like, let's be honest. I know I have 100,000 subscribers, but I'm not that popular. So I do have an advice for you regardless. Okay? From one of the people I look up to, a very intelligent person, a very wise person. So I would suggest you heed this person's advice.
And you made a really good point. You said the thing is, if you censor yourself just 1%, you say, I'll just censor myself 1%. That's what they want. I'm going to make them happy. And then they're just going to keep moving it. They're just going to keep moving it forward, moving the goalposts, and providing you with more money and giving you more things, but keep moving it in a certain direction. And if you keep giving into it, they're going to have a hold of you and they can control you.
So how did we get from that to this?
Hello, friends. I'm making this video to talk about the most regretful and shameful thing that I've ever had to talk about publicly. There's a video that's out that's a compilation of me saying the N-word. It's a video that's made of clips taken out of context of me of 12 years of conversations on my podcast, and it's all smushed together, and it looks fucking horrible, even to me. Now, I know that to most people, there's no context where a white person is ever allowed to.
Yeah, the reason you should never apologize in situations like this is that, number one, there isn't a single person that was offended and after the apology goes, oh, well, he did apologize, so let's lay off. No, of course not, because they're not really offended. They're not really upset. In case you didn't notice, Joe, they're trying to get you censored. This is why they're doing this. They don't care. They probably use the N-word themselves. Like, let's be honest with ourselves for 1 second. Do not apologize to the mob because they pretend to be offended. And the second reason is, like, how can you defend him now? Honestly, I mean, if I were to try to defend Joe, people can say, well, he admitted that he did something wrong, so why are you defending him? Like, he himself admits that he did wrong, so now people can't defend you. Wise it up, Joe. Stop being the average Joe. Now, what's interesting is that someone made a compilation of the Young Turks doing the exact same thing. Now, I can't play it to you on YouTube, because if I did, I'd probably get my channel demonetized, if not actually community guidelines strike, because I'm not the Young Turks. I can't do what the Young Turks do. But it's 46 seconds of the Young Turks saying the N-word. Exactly 100% the same thing which Joe Rogan did. When he said the N-word, he didn't say it to a person. He didn't insult a person. He was saying it in context. Like, for example, well, this guy said it, and this is what happened because he said it. Like, he was reporting the news. For example, a girl in the UK posted a rap lyric in the memory of her dead friend because that was his favorite rap lyric, and the lyric contained the N-word, and because of that, she got in trouble with the authorities. Now, that is newsworthy, right? Because it's ridiculous. I mean, come on. It's a rap music. But no, apparently, it's being only used to silence people that the left disagrees with. This is why they're not going after the Young Turks, which did exactly the same thing. And I agree with them. Because Anna Kasparian is pointing out that they had a policy that instead of sanitizing their quotes with N-words, they would use the real quotes verbatim. Because this is so childish that it only exists in the English language. I will tell you this as a Romanian. There are no words in the Romanian language that we ban. It is ridiculous when the people in the English-speaking world do it. It's like, for example, they used to do it with the word fuck. And instead of that, they would say the F word. But sometimes you have to say the word fuck. Like, for example, you're talking about someone else who said it. So if you say the F word, like in your mind, in your brain, you're thinking about the word fuck. So you're saying it out loud. The person hearing it, in their mind, they also use the word. But the only thing is like, well, you're saying the F word. Like, what is this childish nonsense? This 5-year-old nonsense. You shouldn't have a word that's banned. It depends on the context. And even the word fuck, it's like, it's one thing when you say, oh, fucking hell, I forgot. And it's another thing when you say, oh, fuck you. Right? Because it's completely different. Maybe some people will allow you to use it. Maybe others won't allow you to use it. Like if it's a friend of mine and I say, oh, get the fuck out. That is one thing versus if I tell it to a professor or to my boss. The intonation matters, the intent matters. But no, we're going to pretend that none of that matters. Why? Because we want to deplatform Joe Rogan. And they will get away with this. Like, this is what really annoys me about it, is that people are so complacent and so weak that they're not willing to call it out. It's like, yeah, he said it, so what? There's more, like, there are so many people watching Joe Rogan. The market has decided. Democracy, which is so sacred in the United States, has decided. He is the most popular person, period. Tucker Carlson is the most popular person on cable. Joe Rogan is more popular than Tucker Carlson. If he was so offensive and so problematic, why are so many people flocking to him? He's worth more than $300 million. Why? Because the people democratically elected, they want to listen to Joe. But apparently they're not allowed because some moral busybodies who know better are telling, no, like if you listen to Joe, you might do crazy things. Like, you might listen to what he says. He might misinform you. You might make wrong decisions. Like, motherfucker, I'm an adult. I'm not a kid anymore. I can make my own decisions. I don't need you. Who the hell are you, like, gatekeeper? Moral busybody. Who are you? I don't even know you. Get away from me. I don't consent. Stop touching me. Yeah, so this is the situation. You get a couple of moral busybodies that you don't know who they are. Again, I'm really curious, like, who went through all of Joe Rogan's videos, 12 years of footage, and made the compilation. Who is that person? Why did they do it? Were they offended? If you're offended, how can you go through all 12 years of footage if you're so offended? Was he shaking when doing it? Was he literally shaking? Was his chest beating? It is what it is. But apologizing, worst thing he can have done. And I think maybe he did it because the company forced him to, like Spotify forced him to. And again, the problem is the people Spotify is hiring. The PR person that told him to apologize should be fired. Like, that PR person doesn't understand social media at all. They should not have apologized. They should said the words have been taken out of context. He was reporting on the facts. You're not going to hold the Young Turks to the same standard. Shut up. That would have been the mature adult way of reacting. Or you know what? Even better. Don't like him, don't watch him. Yeah, don't like him, unsubscribe. That's the normal, healthy way of handling things. But no, now he apologized. People aren't going to defend him. And what can you do? I don't know if he's going to be taken down, but he is experiencing exactly what Tucker Carlson experienced, like a prolonged, sustained attack constantly for different reasons, but all the reasons have one solution. Get Joe off the air.